It's time for Nick and Cap to have a Swatt Deeds chat. So sit back and relax and have your healthy snack. It's time for Nick and Cap.
What's up, dogs? Welcome back to Swatt Deeds Talk, episode 5. Yes, we're finally here. It doesn't happen that often, but it does happen. And today we're going to be talking about Loonies and Toonies and a whole lot of Hellaroonies.
What did he say?
And I am not going to be doing this alone. I have a special guest. You might know him from Extreme Improv Geek Battle. And he is Nick Fury. He's Nick Stevens.
Hi.
Hi, Nick. How you doing?
Just chilling. Happy to be here.
How chilly is it out there?
72 degrees Fahrenheit.
Why did I even ask? It's American. I can't tell. I tell in Celsius. Anyways, it's still hot here.
Private. You know how I feel about the metric system.
So you want to talk about cartoons and stuff with me, but before we get started, I want to know, what was your first cartoon, movie, and TV show?
The first cartoon I remember when I was very, very young was, I want to say, Harebrained Hare, which is the one where Bugs Bunny runs into the tenor, the opera singer. It's one of my all-time favorite. It's one of the ones that always comes to mind, you know?
So did you see that in theaters, or did you see that on TV?
I saw it on TV, man. I saw it on like Cartoon Network.
See, sometimes, because, Nick, you're wise beyond your ears, so sometimes I mistake you're from the 1930s.
Are you calling me old?
No, I'm calling you wise.
Really, old people are very wise.
I would say, my first cartoon, I think it was Mummy's Alive. I think that was my first cartoon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Mummy's Alive.
It was on the local channel, but again, I saw it in the 2000s. I think it was 90s or early 2000 cartoon, but I saw it
mid 90s. I want to say.
Yeah. So that was my first, I think, and then Looney Tunes came out on another channel, and then Tintin, 90s Adventures of Tintin, which is not at all appropriate for my age because it had kidnapping, murders, and stuff. But I think those were my first cartoons.
That is really. I had forgotten about. Honestly, I'd totally forgotten about 90s Tintin.
90s Tintin is awesome.
Yikes! Get down!
So, since you are wise beyond your years and you have seen a lot of stuff, I want you to pick the best cartoon show that defined a decade of let's not go for 70s. Again, I don't think any of my audience, most of my audience are not from the 70s. So let's go with 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s. You have to pick shows that defines the era, or at least your favorite.
Well, so 80s would have been either He-Man and Masters of the Universe, or Thundercats, or G.I. Joe. 90s would have been Transformers a little bit, Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, Batman, the animated series, X-Men 94.
You're picking a lot of stuff. You have to pick stuff that defines that decade. You can't just list everything. Then I will list everything.
Really?
Lots of big long list. You can see that.
Either Batman or Animaniacs would be my pick for the 90s.
And the boy wonder will save us.
2000s is hard because I don't really know what would be current 2000s. I want to say Nickelodeon stuff. Johnny Bravo was in the 90s.
That was 90s. Samurai Jack is 2000s technically.
Samurai Jack is awesome. It's so good.
So you would agree that 2000s was Samurai Jacks?
Yeah, probably.
That explains that you have not seen much stuff on 2000. But it's okay.
Right.
I will fill in the gaps. But one thing that you said surprised me is that Transformers is 90s? No, I was mistaken. It was not 90s. It aired in 1984, so that makes it 80s. Expected a lot of these mistakes in this video. These are your choices. You said He-Man or Thundercats for 80s. For 90s, you said Batman the Animated Series or Animaniacs. In the 2000s, you've only picked Samurai Jack, but that's the only thing you can remember.
Because I'm old. I was in the 2000s. I was like 20.
I'm old.
And
You were wise, Nick. You were wise. I want to say for the 80s, I think Tiny Toons was technically 80s as well, but probably late 80s, I think.
Yeah,
So,
probably late 80s.
Nope, I was wrong. The Tiny Toons literally started in the 1990s, not the 80s. So I want to say Tiny Toons and Thundercats, because I never really cared for He-Man. I really like Thundercats. I've seen the original 80s show aired on the Sri Lankan television as a rerun in, again, 2000s.
Right.
That was my introduction to Thundercats. But you know what? They skipped the first episode. They didn't show us the first episode. They went to second episode. You know why?
I don't know.
Because here's the thing. In Thundercats, the original, the first episode...
Oh, yeah. The nakedness, the nudity.
And Sri Lankan media was like, nope.
Right.
So I think that probably is the reason why they're like, you know what, let's not skip episode 1 and we're going to show the other episodes. Because the other episode is not as much horny.
It's a little too hot for the kids, no?
Again, I'm going to pick Thundercats. For the 90s, Nick, I think you've forgotten your favorite cartoon.
Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yes, you forgot the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But again, that goes to prove for a later segment why it's not the best TMNT, okay? We'll get to that one. But
well, you're wrong, Cap.
We'll get to that one. But for the 90s, I want to say Gargoyles and Mummies Alive, if Mummies Alive was 90s.
I forgot about Gargoyles. I love Gargoyles.
See, this is why it happens. You pick something and they're like, shit, I forgot the other one.
I'm so old. There's so many good cartoons in the 90s.
Yeah, those were the days. Nostalgia.
So in the 2000s, again, man, a lot of stuff for 2000s. I've seen a lot of stuff. But I would say the stuff that really captured me was first one is going to be Justice League Unlimited. And
yeah, that's a good one, yeah.
Yes, and the other is going to be, what's my favorite? TMNT 2003.
Turtles, count it off! 1, 2, 3, 4, turtles!
Which is my introduction.
We'll get
to the debate.
We'll get to on that one.
Yeah, but for me, it's TMNT 2003 because, man, I saw it on a DVD and kept watching it so many times. I loved that show that much. And I'm gonna go further ahead on another decade as well, the 2010s, mainly because this TMNT follows through. And I was wrong. I thought TMNT 2003 was the best TMNT ever, but then 2012, I was like, you know what? Story-wise, they knocked it out. So I have a high appreciation for that one. And also the Looney Tunes show from the 2010s, which is a brilliant follow-up for the early cartoons.
I do gotta watch that. In the 2020s, I love Harley Quinn. I was watching Velma the other day, which is very underrated.
You know what? Let's hash it out. You like Velma?
Are you local, homie?
I also love I love Scooby Doo. I've always liked Scooby Doo.
Me too, but I don't like Velma.
I hate it with a boundless, burning fury. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
I don't know. I also am kind of obsessed with Mindy Kaling, the actress that plays the voice of Velma. I think she's hilarious.
Judge me all you want.
I am judging you.
And now I'm looking forward for Kite Man and Harley Quinn.
think it's out. I think it's out. A couple of episodes are out.
Yeah, I just haven't had a chance to watch them.
I have to say, like you, because you right now reminded me of Melba. Like Scooby Doo was such a big part of my childhood. I forget the I'm gonna kick myself for forgetting it. But like I again grew up on Scooby Doo. The '70s shows was on a rerun, which episodes a few watched. But my favorite was the What's New Scooby Doo from the 2000s, which again was my era.
What's the Scooby-Doo? We're coming after you. You're gonna solve that mystery.
And that was like amazing. Scooby Doo for me is like friend before friends.
Yeah, I also, although this is a cartoon central show, I can't stand Friends.
Go to hell!
Okay, well,
Friends,
again, that's another thing. We're talking about cartoons. We'll have that debate on another section about sitcoms. But so yeah, I think that those will be my picks. My next thing is going to be what do you think? Like you've seen different eras, you've seen different cartoons that come out in different eras. Which do you think is the best era for cartoons, movies and TV shows alike?
early '90s.
Early '90s. Why?
So Ren and Stimpy had just come out. I was 13 at the time, and it was like Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Butthead, Rugrats, Doug, really good, strong, cartoons that had humor and heart.
So
I think
that will be your best era. I'm going to slightly agree with you uh, by saying like '90s, yes, but not the early ones. The late '90s, I'm going to go with because like Gargoyles and Mummies Alive,
well,
and
they,
also early 2000s. But here's the case, like, what I'm saying is like again, I'm looking at the whole picture, right? You're right, like Rugrats and the Cartoon Network revolution was happening in the early '90s. But the era which it led to, the late '90s and the 2000s, they like improved so much from the start that they had. So for me, I think that's the best decade era. And also the other thing is for movies were concerned, Disney was like in a really struggle to beat Pixar. So they were really putting out good movies. Again, they failed, but they were putting out good movies at that time. They were really
so
trying.
I remember seeing a movie billboard in 1994 that had Clerks, which is one of my all-time favorite movies, Shawshank Redemption, Forrest Gump, Lion King, and Pulp Fiction. And I'm like, and in hindsight, I can say with fairly certainty that that is like all those movies are ridiculous, like are all classics in their own right.
That's why I said like the '90s was like in a sense the everything was like coming together for animations because like they had so much history and now everybody's doing animations and everyone's trying to improve upon it and like everyone was like really in the hot seat. So again, Lion King, which was a hit. Then what did Disney do? Disney Tarzan, which wasn't a hit, but again, which is a very underrated film.
Look, I love Tarzan.
See, this is why we agree, Nick. This is why we both have the red T-shirt today.
Like Schletter. Oh, hey, right back at you.
So again, that was one of the reasons why everyone's competing. And Toy Story had it. Pixar was born in the '90s, and
Yeah, Pixar is amazing.
so because of that, I'm going to say the late '90s and the early 2000s were like the peak and the best era for animation because like everyone was like getting in on the action and everyone was putting out good product.
Right. I agree. I'm gonna say that like late '80s to early '90s is like my sweet spot.
That's your favorite.
Yeah.
Mm. But also we forgot about like DreamWorks, like Shrek was the thing. Like that
Oh,
was 2000.
yeah. I love Shrek, but it's like I don't know. I can't like. I like Shrek. I like Rio more than Shrek, which is also a
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks film. And I like what else did I see? What
Kung
else?
Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda is fucking amazing. Sorry.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Optimus Prime.
Swearing is wrong and is offensive to many humans.
Thanks, Optimus. Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
So about 5 years ago, I'm at my brother's house sitting for him, and I didn't realize that they were doing a Kung Fu Panda marathon,
Oh,
and I hadn't seen them. So I ended up like, oh, it's 8:30 p.m. I'm just gonna watch TV till I go to bed. I ended up watching everything that they had up to that moment, and then I fell asleep right after. I'm like, these movies are great.
so when like Kung Fu Panda came out, right? The Chinese government, after the movie came out, the Chinese government, their cinematic authorities held up a meeting to figure out how did an American film about Chinese culture did a better job than Chinese film industry and is beloved by the Chinese people and the international crowd. They were like,
I did
we
not,
need to figure it out.
I did not know that one.
Yeah, that was like, again, it's that kind of a movie, folks. Kung Fu Panda like shook the world in that sense, and I give it all its credit, and that's why I think like for me, the late '90s and the early 2000s, they were in terms of quality. Again, just I'm not just picking my favorite because I grew up with it. I'm picking it because like that era just like churned out animated films the best way you can think of.
Yeah, so they're so good.
So again, now it's going to be the hot section of this whole thing is that we both like TMNT. Okay, we're both TMNT fans. Okay,
Yes,
which do you think? So have you read the TMNT comics?
yes, I have.
Okay, again, you are better than me in that one because like I've not read them. Okay, except the last Ronin a bit. But other than that, like I don't have much comics because like I grew up with the cartoons and stuff. Because then I never really got into comics.
So before a little bit of behind the scenes stuff, I was looking through my comics to see if I had my TMNT black and white issue 1 from the 70s, and I did not. And then I remember that I had sold it like 10 years ago.
How much, if you are willing to say it? If not, it's okay.
I don't remember, but I want to say several thousand USD.
Okay, then you made a profit because like if you sell it like $50, that would be like what?
I made a little bit of money on it, not a lot, but some.
But do you wish that you kept it? Because like it would have been a lot more right now.
I am not a nostalgia person.
Okay.
Like, and if I buy like I'm a big trading card player, and if I buy a card that's expensive and I'm going to use it to play with, I'd rather use it to play with than have it like be like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna sell this card in 10 years and make a bunch of money, and that never works out for me.
Okay.
So
That
I've
is
learned
true.
that
That is true.
that I'd much rather enjoy what enjoy it for the time, and if I can sell it for money, great. And if not, I don't.
That's a great life lesson, folks. Listen from Nick. This is why I said he was wise. Okay, so again, you read the comics, seen the shows. Which do you think adapted the TMNT the best? Okay, again, you have the comics knowledge. You have to choose one. So you got again. I'm gonna lay down the options for you. You have the 80s TMNT, the 2003 one, the 2012 one, and then Rise, which is like 2015 or 16, I believe. And now there's the new show as well. So you have like 6 stuff to choose from.
So I would say, and I'm gonna get flack from you for saying this, and I'm aware and I'm ready for it. The Michael Bay movie is the best, the one that's truest to the comics. The Michael Bay live action movie.
Oh, come on!
Largely because at one point in the comics, the turtles behead Shredder.
They do that in the 2003 and the 2012.
Which I haven't seen.
You should have.
Okay.
The
Okay, make your
turtles
point, Nick.
get
Make your point. Make your point.
the turtles are super dark in the comics. Like Eastman and Laird were like, we're gonna make these like for adults. They got really pissed when they made the animated series, the original one. And then when they got the check for the show, which was 7 figures, and they were like, we're
Okay.
still pissed about it, but we're slightly less pissed.
Okay, Nick. I'm just gonna tell you this, but I'm gonna explain it. Watch the 2012 one and then watch the 2003 one. The reason why I'm saying is like 2012 one is less seasons, so you'll get through them faster. The 23 one, there's a lot of seasons, so it takes time. The reason why I'm telling you this, those shows do not treat it as a kid's show, okay? The 80s did, but the people who made the 2003 and the 2012 one, they were like, we are going hardcore.
Those who are not with me are against me. And I crush anyone who stands against me.
And the only thing that doesn't happen, they don't show blood. But Shredder, not just Shredder, a lot of people get snipped, okay? And there's also Baxter Stockman in 2003. He goes into complete body horror. Okay, they pushed the nail a lot.
This experiment is a catastrophe.
So again, I would have even forgiven you if you said like the 80s or the early cartoons was your favorite. Okay?
Oh, I love the other cartoons.
No, I would have forgiven you for that because here's the thing. As much as I love the 2003 and the 2012 one, if it weren't for that cartoon, TMNT as a franchise wouldn't have existed. Right?
You know, yeah, but do you know why the studio is called Mirage Studios?
I do not know.
So Eastman and Laird were just two artists who had just graduated college, and they actually did not have a studio. Like their studio was called Mirage Studio because it was just the basement of one of their houses, and there was like a phone number, and like that was it, like a phone number and a fax machine. But the rest of the studio was a Mirage.
In 2000, the series 2003 series did a movie which ended the whole series, which is called Turtles Forever. In that one, in the end credit scene, you see their basement.
I think this first issue is coming along rather well, don't you, Kev?
Yeah, sure do, Pete. Hey, let's get back to this after lunch, huh?
Sounds good. Pizza?
Yeah, pizza. Oh, I sure hope this thing sells.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
So again, this is why you need to watch the 2003 stuff. But we'll get to. But like the reason why I'm saying this, the reason why I appreciate the 80s one is because like it started it. I have a soft spot for the 90s movies, even though they're like campy and not very good. But they're better than the Michael Bay movie. Okay.
Fine.
Because
I will.
Because here's the thing.
All I have to say about that one is Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go.
Yes.
And I was like, all right, fine, Vanilla, I'm out.
Nick, Vanilla Ice made a lot of mistakes, okay? The rap career is a mistake, but the only one good thing that he did was Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go, okay? That's the only thing that he had.
I'm going to say that I'm partial to Ice Ice Baby, but largely because it's a great karaoke song.
Okay. But here's the thing. Michael Bay film, right? You know where the Michael Bay film lost me? I was like watching the film and like, oh, I picked up a book of Kung Fu and I learned like ninja stuff and I taught my son. I was like, what?
Oh
Again,
yeah,
this is a
that was
movie about turtles and stuff, but like that was like Master Splinter is one of my favorite characters. Even the 80s one, the 2003 one, especially the 2012 one. And reducing him down to someone who picked up a book and is like, aha, I know Kung Fu, like in The Matrix.
I know Kung Fu.
But again, I don't hate the film, but I would say the 90s, you know the monologue in the early 90s film, like Splinter talks to Raphael? No heart at all.
You have no heart.
Again, you picked the Michael Bay one. I'm going to give you a second chance. Pick something else.
Turtles in Time. No, hold on. Turtles on the Next Mutation.
Which was the second film? Was it the second film or the first film?
No. So Saban, the company who's famous for Power Rangers, decided that they need to capitalize on the TMNT. So they decided that there was going to be another vial of ooze, and there was going to be a sister to the Turtles. And she carried a whip, and her name was Venus de Milo. I wish I was making this up. It is I know it sounds terrible, and let me tell you something. It is. It lasted for exactly 4 episodes were aired in the US.
Oh.
And they were like, yeah, we're done.
What was the name of it?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Next Mutation. And it was a 5th turtle named Venus de Milo.
Next Mutation television series. Okay, it did air in 1997, actually. And oh gosh. Oh gosh. Did they make Leo have boobs?
I think so.
Oh no. You know what? Right now, like from my current experience, I thought like Ben Shorts was the worst thing that happened to Leo, but like nah, this is the first one.
It's that. It's by the same guy that made Power Rangers and Big Bad Beetleborgs and what was the name of the bug on a motorcycle?
On a distant and embattled planet called Edenoi, a young prince named Dex is given great powers by his grandfather, the king, and is sent to the planet Earth to protect it from the advancing evil of Count Dragon and his vicious insectoids. Once on Earth, he is adopted by a kind family and learns to live as a human. With his companion Phoebus by his side, Dex is ever vigilant, ready at a moment's notice to call on his powers to become Masked Rider.
Yeah, but that was the worst thing that the Turtles have ever done. Even worse, look, if you want to see that, you would be like, okay, Michael Bay gets a pass.
I give Michael Bay a pass, like because of what you like showed me. I would give Michael Bay a pass, but I would not give him a pass compared to the other good shows. But I will give him a pass because of this. And also, I think again, Michael Bay did also another bad thing, Nick, because like Michael Bay film, they finished the 2012 story and started TMNT Rise, which again looked abysmal and had Ben Short voicing Leo, and I hated the whole thing.
I hate him!
So that's one of the other things that Michael Bay done.
So I don't remember who Ben Short is.
With Ben Schwartz as Leonardo.
He gets to be funny, he gets to be laid back, which is so fun to play. I'm champion of the world.
Oh God, no, not that guy.
Dude, if you Google like TMNT Rise Leo scenes, you will cringe out of your brain because like it is the most baddest interpretation of Leonardo that you can think of. It's terrible.
Did future handsome amazing me tell you what to do in case that already happened?
I'm sure of it. I hate him.
I hate him!
But what do you think of the 2007 film, the animated film? Did you get to watch that one?
Yeah, that one I did see. I really liked it.
That was technically my full introduction to TMNT before I saw the 2003 one.
So that was the one where Raphael is the villain at the beginning.
Kind of.
Yeah.
He's the Night Watcher.
Yeah, I like that interpretation of Raphael a lot.
I love the monologue that he has with like Splinter, where he's like, "You're not be my favorite student, but it doesn't mean that you're not my favorite son." And like the understanding between like Splinter and his kids, that was like beautiful. I love that scene.
Yeah, for real. That was really good.
So again, Nick, we're mainly on the same page. The only reason why you're disagreeing with me is that you haven't seen 2003 and 2012 TMNT. So Nick, we still haven't answered the question. I mean, like you did, you went for the Michael Bay one, and I told you to switch it, and you said like the next mutation. Again, that's also a terrible show. So again, Nick, you're gonna have to pick a good one as a TMNT fan. You owe it.
You have never seen the next mutation. So but yes, I cannot. There's no way I can justify that decision.
Okay, so what is your best right now? What do you think is the best adaptation of the TMNT?
It would be probably the one from 2000, the one that we were just talking about.
The 2007 film.
That Raph is a villain.
Yeah, slightly.
Yeah.
So okay, I agree with you on 100%. As far as movies go, I think it's still the best TMNT movie ever, even topping the '90s ones. I love the '90s ones.
Oh, so do I. They're great.
Yeah.
Except for TMNT3.
Yeah.
The one they travel back in time.
Yeah.
Is questionable at best.
I think it's one of it's like what you said, Nick. Like they were aiming it for kids. Like in the first one, right? They were still using weapons, but like in the second and third, they barely used their weapons. The first one, like all of them used their weapons. Like even like Shredder, Leo cut Shredder in the arm. So again, they were a bit violent than the other films.
Right.
But I think with the Go Ninja Go one is where they start deciding, oh, we can't use weapons. It's for kids.
We have to go campy.
Yeah, that one.
I mean, it wasn't campy as Batman 78, but it was still campy.
It was terribly campy. That's the thing. Although even still, Nick, is the reason why I still love them is like they still have good jokes. They're corny, but they have good jokes. That still makes me laugh.
Ninja pizza. Ninja pizza? Pizza that vanished quickly without trace.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So because that, but for me, the film I agree with you, 2007 one, but 2012 one is I think like from the shows is even though I grew up with the 2003 one, and that's the closest thing to my heart. And you know what, Nick? When 2012 came out, I hated it because they went from 3D animation, which again didn't look that fantastic compared to the 2D animation. So I was like, it's gonna be a terrible show. But I gave it a shot, and I was like, oh, how wrong I was. It's animation wise, you're right. 2D is the best, but by writing, so good. The reason why the best thing about 2012 is that like they created the best Splinter out of every version. It's very close to the 2007 one, but in a sense, like this is, I would go to say he is the best father in all of fiction. It's that level of good.
Well, hold on. In all of fiction,
yes,
we have, let's see,
Okay, I'm going to show you some clips. Again, these clips will not do it justice. As you watch the whole show, it'll be much better. But I'm going to show you some clips.
Kind of amazing, actually.
Yeah. Okay, let me show you this. Again, this series will melt your heart, Nick. I guarantee it. Again, I'll be waiting for your review after you see this. And like I'm telling you, you're going to be coming out with like tears in your eyes.
Well, you also know I'm a cynical. I'm like very cynical and sarcastic.
I am, but I'm telling you, you will be coming out with wide eyes and like a wet eye, okay? This is where he gives the
When
name.
I was a child, I wanted to be an artist. So it seems appropriate to name you after the masters of my favorite period in art, the Renaissance. Perhaps then, you will grow up to be something great. I will name you Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Leonardo.
The glimpse that you can expect from 2012. What are your thoughts on it from those clips alone?
I want to see more.
Yeah.
He's hooked. It was inevitable, Baloo. The boy couldn't help himself.
However,
yes,
I also want you to watch the horrible thing that I watched.
Okay. Okay, Nick. I am giving you one of the greatest cartoons of all time, and you're offering me one of the greatest pieces of shit of all time to watch.
Yes.
I like this trade. I like this very much.
I'm messing with you. You don't have to watch it. However, I will watch.
Okay, do definitely give 2012 a shot, and do give me a review. You can write it to me or send a clip of me. I will share it on the channel. Nick's thoughts after he's seeing the TMNT 2012 one.
Oh, this is great. I can't wait to read it.
I have to give you one other thing, is that the other one of our other loves is the Thundercats. And again, I'm a huge fan of the 80s show. But
as you damn well should be.
I am. But like I said with the TMNT, right? The 2011, not the Thundercats Roar. Not Thundercats Roar. I'm not talking about Thundercats Roar. That's terrible.
Are you gonna make me twitch?
Sorry?
Are you gonna make me angry?
I'm not gonna make you angry. I like this TMNT one. I think if you watch the Thundercats 2011, only sad thing is like it's only one season. They filmed the second season, but they canceled it mainly because like they were doing a Lego show, and because of that they scrubbed it. But Nick, if it had,
I did like that show, not as much as the '80s one,
but you did like it.
But I did like it.
He likes it.
Going back to comics for a second.
Yeah, okay.
There's a great Thundercats comic, a great Thundercats miniseries called Enemy's Pride, and it is 5 issues. So good.
Okay, I will definitely check that one out. As you watch the MMD 2012 one, I will check the comics out and I will let you know my thoughts on that one. Again, I don't typically read comics. I'm doing this for you, okay?
Thank you, Cap. I appreciate that.
Okay, so you have watched the 2011 Thundercats, right?
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I like that show, again, the things that they improved upon it. Do you know that they made like Lion-O and Tiger are brothers?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yes.
I love that so much.
We're lost. I don't get lost. There's a path through these mountains, and I'm going to find it.
You never admit when you're wrong.
And you never act your age. Tell me something, Lion-O. Is it my destiny to always lose the things I care most about?
You aren't gonna lose me, brother.
in the old 80s show, Tiger wasn't that much of a part of the team. Usually he's out of the action.
Right. So Tiger was the architect and like the planner and
Yeah.
so,
I mean, what a terrible thing to do to a tiger. He's a tiger. He's a freaking tiger. He should be doing more fights.
true. But something that I have an issue with that is that lions and tigers aren't really brothers, you know?
Yeah. But again, like, again, he's adopted. The story is like he's adopted. And
That's true.
I love the fact that, like, again, we always have this chat: who would win in a fight, a lion or a tiger? It's like the most famous talks of all time. So I think this is a good interpretation of, like, adding it to the Thundercats universe. But here's the thing: most of the time, Lionel lost to Tiger on most of the fights they have.
Annette warned me you'd betray me. He said it was inevitable.
You've undermined me my whole life! Blocked me at every turn! You took the crown! You took her!
Okay, Nick, this is going to be tough for you. You have to choose between the Animaniacs and the Looney Tunes. You can only have one.
Animaniacs.
Not, again, if you don't lose, like, you lose Bugs Bunny, you lose Tiny Toons, you lose everybody.
Tiny Toons is technically a part of the Animaniacs universe.
They're also part of the Looney Tunes universe.
True. But I would say the Animaniacs.
You're saying Animaniacs, so you would give up Bugs Bunny, Daffy, Porky? Wow.
5 seconds.
Wow!
You're despicable.
I love Looney Tunes. I'm going to preface that by saying that. But I can only think like I can probably count the Looney Tunes shorts that I like in 2 hands. And like, whereas I love all of the Animaniacs, like all of Pinky and the Brain, because they're all like in the same
universe, yes.
The same vibe, like Pinky and the Brain, Animaniacs, Freakazoid. No, yeah. It's still Steven Spielberg animated property. You know.
So, what do you think of the new rebooted Animaniacs?
Oh, it's stupid. It sucks. It is straight up.
Oh, terrible. Just terrible.
The first episode is fantastic because they're like, you know what? We're reboot. We got this, and this, you know, the Animaniacs always have like a song.
Yeah, we're
the song is called. Right, no, but like every episode had a musical number.
Yeah.
The one that is for the reboot is called Reboot It, Reshoot It. And I'm like, it's a super meta joke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can get behind that. And I'm like, but the rest of the series was kind of lame.
Okay. I get that because, like, when they rebooted, they also rebooted the Tiny Toons. I gave the first episode a try, but for some reason, like, I don't know, it just, like, it doesn't feel the same to me as the old one. So I didn't continue it, but I might go back to it. Animaniacs, again, I was a lot of, the best thing I liked about Animaniacs was the Pinky and the Brain, and also the running joke, "Hello, nurse."
Yes, Dr. Scratch and Sniff?
Get these kids out of here!
Hello, nurse.
Hello, Nurse. Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah.
So I know that you're a huge Looney Tunes fan.
Yes.
What is your favorite, like, if you could say, this is my favorite Looney Tunes short ever, which one would it be?
I'm gonna go with the pronoun trouble with Bugs, Daffy, and Elmer.
Would you like to shoot me now or wait till you get home? Shoot him now. Shoot him now. You keep out of this. He doesn't have to shoot you now. Ha! That's it. Hold it right there. Pronoun trouble. It's not he doesn't have to shoot you now. It's he doesn't have to shoot me now. Well, I say he does have to shoot me now. So shoot me now.
Because you asked me to choose one. If you ask me to choose from Looney Tunes, I can't. I run out of fingers. I love most of the Looney Tunes shorts.
The other one that always comes to mind is the Michigan J Frog episode.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my bunny.
That one.
I weirdly hated seeing that. One reason is that, like, I don't like frogs. That's the only reason. I will also recommend to you the 2010 or 2011 Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes. It's different from the shorts. It's not a short. It's more of a sitcom thing. It's like Bugs and Daffy living in an apartment.
Yeah, I think I saw a couple episodes of that on HBO. And
what do you think of it?
It was, I don't, like, it didn't move me in any way.
For me,
I may have,
yeah, go.
I may just have to rewatch it.
I would recommend it because, like, for me, again, I'm a hardcore old Looney Tunes fan, but when I saw that, I was like, damn, this is really good. I laughed so much. Like, I love the idea of, like, Bugs and Daffy living together and, like, they have these lives and stuff. So, like, for me, it was really good.
Hello, this is Helmut Jorensen from the Nobel Prize Foundation. I am calling to inform Mr. Bugs Bunny that he has been awarded the Nobel Prize.
Message deleted. Daffy, Tina, just reminding you tomorrow's date night. Don't forget to make Message deleted.
Hey guys, it's Porky. I'm in kind of an emergency and
Message deleted. End
Anything
of
important? Nope. I can't hold on much longer.
I have one question for you.
Okay.
Space Jam with Michael Jordan or with LeBron James?
Michael Jordan. LeBron James film sucked. It sucks.
That is a good answer.
Oh
High
my
five.
god. Okay, high five, okay? Because here's the thing. They made Bugs a loser in the LeBron James film, and I was like, Bugs not like that. And also Lola Bunny, I'm for that Lola Bunny or the Lola Bunny from the 2010 shows, not the LeBron James one. That movie sucked.
And then I have one more question for you
Shoot.
on the subject of bunnies. What is your thought on Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Love that film to death. I wish there were more.
I love it! I love it! Don't you love it, folks? It's incredible! It's so gorgeous!
You know why they can never make anything like that again, right?
It's the studios thing. Most studios came together to make that one. Now I don't think Disney will ever cooperate with Warner Brothers.
Yeah. So I read an article that for them to get Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny in the same frame, they had to have the exact same amount of screen time to the second.
But Nick, who's better, Mickey or Bugs? I know Mickey's iconic, but come on.
That's like making me choose between who's my favorite child. It's obviously quick. Yeah, it's got to be Bugs.
Yeah, and I know. I love Mickey. I love most of the stuff that he's in. I love the whole Mickey Mouse universe. I love House of Mouse and stuff. But it's Bugs Bunny. You can't compete with Bugs Bunny.
Nah, that's more like it. Bugs Bunny, king of the beasts.
It's going to be another question. It's going to be a tough one. He said, if you can live in a cartoon world from a movie or TV show or a multiple connected universe, which would you be in?
I'm going to scratch my beard for a second.
Okay, I can go first if you think things through if you want.
Sure.
Okay, me, I'm going into the 2010s Bugs Bunny and Daffy show because I love that show to death, so I'm going in that one. And the second thing is going to be another 2000 cartoon that you probably don't know is Penguins of Madagascar. separate series of the penguins from the Madagascar movies. I love that thing as well, so I'm going in there. So for the third one, I'm going to the Disney universe. Sorry, I'm going to the Disney universe. Okay, that Penguins of Madagascar in the Disney universe.
Ugh, men.
So I'm going to Gargoyles universe.
It's gonna be scary.
Yeah, I'm going into the Gargoyles universe. Actually,
Okay.
Yeah.
You can have two more as well. You can have two more.
I get two more.
Yeah.
Jeez, I would go into the Jetsons universe.
Ah, the Hanna-Barbera. Okay.
Yeah,
You can solve everything with a button.
yeah, pretty much. What would the third one be? Oh, the third one's hard.
Animaniacs?
Yeah, actually, that's a good one.
So you're going with Animaniacs, Gargoyles, and the Jetsons. My one question is, you're gonna get hurt in Gargoyles.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I'd be like a low level cop, like just like a beat cop, chilling like obsessed with Elisa Mouse. I think that was her name.
Yeah. She was everyone's favorite crushes, I think, like 90s kid.
All right, so here's my question for you, Cap.
Yes.
And this is gonna be a hard one.
Okay.
All right. Classic April O'Neil
Okay.
or Elisa Maza.
Elisa Mazda.
Well, that was quick.
Compare again. I like TMNT. If you're giving me the choice between Elisa Mazda and April from the 2003 one, I would have a hard time. But like the classic April O'Neil versus Elisa Mazda all the way. Like she's the best. We are closing to the end, and we're going to make recommendations now. So you're gonna have to recommend TV shows, movies, or even comics from your favorite cartoon decade. Like you're from, I think you said like the late 80s and the early 90s. So this is gonna be from that era. Go for it.
Gargoyles and Batman the Animated Series. So what's cool about Batman, about the Paul Dini Batman the Animated Series,
Yeah.
is that it's hand drawn, which is always awesome, and it's hand drawn on black paper,
Yeah.
and they read. So most animated series are drawn on paper with black pencils.
Oh.
With this one is done on black paper with white with white pencils, and that gives it an extra, which is why if you notice how dark the series was, it was because it was drawn on black paper, and all the characters and everything in the background is drawn in white and colored pencil.
Did they do that because like the same style of animation followed to the animated Superman series and also Justice League
For the
Unlimited?
Superman series, they did it the other way around because
Okay.
it was Superman. But
yeah,
it was
but like
also
they're very
hand-drawn.
similar, right? The animation styles are like very similar.
Yeah, but like the colors are completely different.
Yeah, they're more brighter.
Right.
But I think like they went back when they did the crossover episodes between those series. I think that Superman episode was like darker than usual. So maybe they
Right.
mixed and matched.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
So what comics do you recommend from your favorite decade?
Anything Transformers is good. There's a particular one called Generation 2.
Yes.
Transformers Generation 2 is very good.
Okay, so you've given us TV shows, you've given us comics. What's the movie? Again, it has to be animated. It can't be live action. It has to be animated.
Little Mermaid, Little Mermaid or Lion King.
Okay. Okay, Nick, I'm going to hit you with the hot question that you were not prepared for. Who's your Disney princess crush?
Oh, Jasmine.
Jasmine. Oh, wow, from Aladdin. Nice.
Wow.
For me, again, at the age where again, like cartoon, like Elisa Massa and all that, like for Disney, I had a thing for Elsa. But I also had a thing for Little Mermaid, but like I saw Little Mermaid first, so I would say she was the first, and Elsa was the second. But if I had to pick, I have to go with Elsa.
Who is your favorite Disney villain?
Disney villain. So many. They have very good ones. I like Hades. I like Gaston. I like Scar. So again, it would be between those three.
So I know who my two villains are.
Okay.
Classic Disney would be Maleficent,
Okay.
and more modern Disney would be Ursula.
What do you think of the remakes of Maleficent with Angelina Jolie?
No. I saw them, I enjoyed them.
But
they're
no.
great. No.
No.
I would the same way I feel about the Little Mermaid remake.
Yeah.
So Ursula, the animated Ursula, was based on a very famous drag person named Divine. And who passed away after she was gonna do like the voice also for her. And when she passed away, they kept the image, but they had another actress who did a very good job of being a good voice performer, similar to Divine.
So I would say, for me, my decade is the early 2000s. The movie I would recommend is Treasure Planet, the animated movie. For TV show, I would recommend. I'm gonna go with. I forgot about Duck Dodgers. Duck Dodgers was also a thing in the 2000s. So that was a great show.
Duck Dodgers is so good.
Duck Dodgers of the 24th and 1/2 century.
I'm gonna keep Duck Dodgers. I'm also gonna give Samurai Jack his due, and also TMNT 2003. That's gonna be my best things. Also, Kung Fu Panda trilogy. I recommend that. Comics. I have no idea because I don't read most comics. So Nick has given the best comics for that. Okay, Nick. I think we're at the end, and again, we agreed more than we disagreed. So the one last thing I can say is where can we find you?
On Twitter at NSCEV.
Okay.
On Geek Battle. In Dave MC's Discord occasionally.
The links are in the description below. And Nick, thank you for this chat. Again, we agreed. We agreed
Thank
more
you
than
for having me.
disagreed.
It was way more fun than what I thought it would be.
Okay, so thank you guys. We'll see you on another episode. And that's all, folks.
We are the very models of cartoon individuals.